Oh, hey, look at that. How are y'all doing? It is the SideQuest live with just me tonight, which is totally fine. Guys, the rest of the team couldn't make it for various reasons. It's all good. Just know that we're not going to talk about the Final Fantasy 14 this week. sorry, Zach. Sorry, Taylor, and apparently now also JJ. But yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a Final Fantasy 14 free week. But yeah, we can talk about other stuff, which I would prefer to talk about a lot of things. I'm just messing around. Final Fantasy 14. I'm sure it's a good game. It's been a heck of a week. As I'm Dali Demofsky, which you can see by that. I'm learning that it's my left is the actual screen left. You can find us at SideQuesting on the socials, as you're seeing here. You can find us all over the place. Rate, review, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Just let people know about us. It'd be awesome if you subscribe to the podcast. Just hit the subscribe button and then unsubscribe and then subscribe again, because that actually those numbers do help out. But yeah, so expect a shorter show today, my lovely friends. We are going to touch on news and a little bit of what I've been playing, which has been a lot. It's been a lot this week. Let's start with the news. I'm going to dive in with really something that was not unexpected at all. Because if you've been following us at any point over the last 6 months, we've been saying that there's certain games that are definitely going to get delayed through the year after they're announced. We nailed the Elden Ring. I think we nailed a couple others, and we also nailed this one. Saints Row. The Saints Row reboot is getting delayed to August. So that was popping up in February, supposedly. But as we know, everything was arriving in January, February, March. I think April now too. It's really packed beginning of the year. Stuff is now starting to fall out. We kind of mentioned that last week. Starting to get pushed out of there, which is smart because there's supply issues right now, and you can't really get consoles yet. And we'll get into that a little bit here too. And so you can pump the games out. Can't really get them for the new consoles. A lot of people are still sort of recovering from the whole COVID thing and getting back to work and getting their jobs back up and running. So people are really being sort of conservative about where they're putting their money for games. Like you can't buy like 10 games at once like you could in the past. So sorry, my nose is like really itchy. There must be like dust or something in the air. So instead, you have to be really selective as to what you're going to buy. And Saints Row launching during the same time frame as Elden Ring, as like we mentioned, all those other games, only puts it at a disadvantage. And so this is, I think, is a very smart thing to do. Push it back to August of 2022, August 23rd, actually, of 2022. Is good for them. It's keep everyone healthy. It is COVID related, as we've noticed, as we've said with everything thus far, and I think it's worth noting that keep healthy, stay healthy, and do what you need to do. Let's move on to another bit of news here. I'm just gonna use our website because our website has a lot of great news. Riot finally debuted Ruined King. I kept saying Ruined King like a dummy. Ruined King. I think the game was like actually announced over a year ago. They never gave a date, but surprise, it is now out. It has launched. I'll play the video here so you guys can see. Let me turn off the sound. So they debuted they had kind of a little Riot Forge conference. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. They had a Riot Forge conference yesterday, a digital event, and announced that, hey, here's the game, which is Airship Syndicate is the developer behind it. So Riot Forge, essentially what it is it works its Riot IPs, the Riot Games IPs like League of Legends, and it works with other developers, third parties, indies to create new games based off of that IP. And this is, as you can see, it's definitely influenced by Airship's other games, which was like Battle Chasers was one, and Darksiders, Genesis. So it definitely carries that idea. It's turn based, and it looks hella cool in my opinion. And it's out, and it's surprise launched yesterday across every platform. I am definitely gonna try and pick this sucker up because it looks good. It looks like my jam. But yeah, that's cool. They've also announced that the Hex Tech game, the runner, is out, and then even some more news about some of their other games, like I think it was what's it called? They had the I forget the name of it. They had the Tequila Works games, Song of Nunu, League of Legends story. That's also been that was revealed, so that game is coming. I think they didn't give a date, but you can probably expect it next year. So yeah. Anyways, good stuff. Awesome to see Riot working with their developers and spreading their IP around. And I think there you can actually see the logo for the Riot Forge thing is right here. Bam. So that was awesome. Good stuff. And then Dragon Ball, the Breakers, whatever. But the biggest news is probably Halo Infinite multiplayer beta launched on on the 15th, on Monday. Now, definitely worth noting that this is still technically a beta. Yes, it is the multiplayer aspect of Halo Infinite, and as we know, they announced it over the summer that the game's going to launch in two parts. You're going to have the multiplayer is going to launch prior to the full game, the campaign going live, and we all thought it was going to be like a couple weeks, but it's 3 weeks early or so, because I think the actual Halo campaign is on the 8th or somewhere around that time frame. So launching the game as the multiplayer separately, I think it was smart in launching it on that day, which was on the 20th anniversary of the Xbox, the 20th birthday of the Xbox. I think that's pretty cool. To the point where something like 275,000 people at one point on Steam were playing the game at once, which is damn near a record, really close to it. I'm gonna show the trailer here. Oops, let me hit the play with it here. That's significant because it's a lot of players, but also remember that a lot of us are still working from home, and so many of those folks are probably taking. Not me. I was dedicated to work, but I know of a lot of folks who were jumping into Halo multiplayer during their work hours. Is one of the disadvantages of working, or one of the major advantages of working from home. Disadvantages for the corporations, I'm assuming, for these 275,000 players. I actually didn't even start playing it till tonight. I think I downloaded it Monday night because the servers are slow to download stuff. But I started tonight. I'll get into it a little bit later. But yeah, actually, I'll get into it now. It's good. It's a lot of fun. It's Season 1 Battle Pass. They actually extended the Battle Pass. They announced the Battle Pass is going to be a few months. They actually extended it like 6 months or so. And it's Halo-ass Halo. The visuals have been up from what we saw, last year. Plays really well. I'm actually playing it on the Xbox One, the OG launch Xbox One. If you, it came with the Kinect, remember that? And so it runs great. It looks awesome on the Xbox One. It still looks fantastic. I love the customization. I love that little, the little AI that you can customize. And yeah, it's fun. It is Halo multiplayer, and I think when you start it off. And right now it's kind of devoid of a lot of stuff. Obviously, Forge is not in. A bunch of other things aren't in there, which they're going to slowly debut over the next year and really get those features in there. And they realize they just got to get the multiplayer out there because that is a huge, huge aspect of Halo. Because if you don't have the multiplayer and the campaigns out, let's play this again real quick. Then people notice, and the multiplayer is what kept people coming back. And the campaign is the lore and the secrets and all the other stuff. And I'm assuming things you unlock in the campaign will work their way into the multiplayer. But yeah, kudos. I'm playing it because of Game Pass. I get it for included. It's free, and it just works out great. God bless. Actually, I think it's free for everyone, isn't it? Right? Everybody in the room here, right? It's a lot of fun. It functions really well. It's like I said, Halo X Halo, definitely definitely worth picking up and playing through. And if you just like basic Halo like me, I'm not great at FPS games, but I'm like not decent at Halo, but I'm good enough at Halo and Destiny that I can actually enjoy myself when I'm playing. I love the grappling hook, which is pretty cool. It reminds me of some of the Metroid things in the past. So yeah, anyways, it's out. Good kudos to Microsoft for pushing that out. They also made other announcements. I think they said like 76 new games are coming to backwards compatibility. The Halo TV series, I won't play it because we'll probably get a ping, but the Halo TV series is coming. They showed the first teaser for that, and really just here's Master Chief's armor showing up on Paramount Plus in 2022. They said early 2022. That's what's been kind of floating around, but it's Paramount Plus, which is like nobody has that. I think a few folks have it to watch Star Trek, but other than that, it's kind of it. So should have dropped it on like Netflix or something, but whatever. It's Halo. I think that'll actually drive folks to pick up the Paramount Plus streaming service. I know I get it for free through T-Mobile. Thank you. See, I just doxed myself. Whatever. And then I think one thing that was actually kind of cool is Microsoft announcing there's going to be a whole documentary called Power On the birth of the Xbox, which I think is pretty cool. You know, there's been a lot of stories about it. There's actually a great podcast series by, I think it's the Wondery network called Business Wars that talks about the Xbox versus PlayStation, kind of the birth of the Xbox and PlayStation, how they kind of came together. Definitely worth checking out and listening. It's like a five or 6 part series. So yeah, totally worth checking that out. But I'm looking forward to this. I love seeing sort of the stuff that went into the background. I mean, in this video they showed some clips of this trailer that I'll hit the play button. They showed some, The Rock is in it. Obviously, he helped launch the Xbox. They showed there's Phil, our good friend Phil. Bill Gates is obviously instrumental. Windows 98, they were still selling that back in the day in 2000 and ME. And what was Microsoft's play to get into the home, into the living room space was the Xbox, right? That was going to be their set-top device because their internet Windows TV didn't really work out so well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be on a bunch of different streaming services. They said they didn't really nail it down as to which one it's going to be on. They said it's going to be streaming, so expect it on everything, Netflix and all the other stuff. So pretty cool. Something else that's coming 2022 is PAX East returns. I am really did I crop that horribly? I am excited about PAX East. It's my favorite gaming event. I like it more than E3 because it's much more subdued, it's way more relaxed. Developers it's not like this big PR thing. It's you just talking and hang out with developers and checking out games and playing stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for the return of PAX East 2022. I will Mission. I don't know why I call it Mission takes place, but April 21st to 24th. Word to the wise, get your flights in now and start looking at hotels because those things fill up like that. I don't like the font for the new PAX logo. I liked all the stuff before. This PAX logo is kind of Star Trek-ish in a bad way, Space Force-ish, I guess, but whatever. PAX East is back, and I think that is actually really, really cool and really worth donating because it's good. It's something that it brings the gaming industry together and the gaming world together. So I'm going to switch right now to other stuff that bring the gaming world together. Let me see if this website will launch. Oh, man, I have to type the into this. It is the Game Awards. Come on, let me share a different stream here. The Game Awards nominees have been announced. for all the different, many fun different. Here we go. Is this it? What am I showing? No, that's not the one. Let me stop sharing that one there. Stop screen. Hold on. I got to share the actual site, not just lists. I'm sorry about. Here we go. Got it. Okay. No thanks for not subscribing. They have the whole list of all the nominees. Let's click here. All over the place. A lot of great nominees. Come on. You know, companies like Microsoft and Ember Labs and a bunch of their companies. You know, a bunch of companies have a lot of great games listed on here. I just want to go right into the game of the year because this is obviously the most divisive every time. But you have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village. And I think the gaming world is fairly well represented here. You know, Deathloop and Ratchet are PlayStation exclusives. This one is for now, obviously. It Takes Two is, you know, Mr. Joseph Fares, who we all know about. He's a firecracker. So not really indie, I guess, just smaller studio. Metroid Dread is Nintendo. Psychonauts 2 now owned by Microsoft. So that's I guess it's an exclusive. Maybe it's not. I don't know. And then you have Resident Evil Village, which is that one feels sort of like an outlier to me. I mean, I think you could have fit other games on there like Forza 5 or you know, Cruelty Squad, right, Zach? Cruelty Squad. But whatevs, I guess these are their choices. I have Deathloop in the case, unopened yet. Haven't played it. Haven't played It Takes Two. I'm going to be diving into Psychonauts 2 over the holiday here pretty soon. And not really super interested in Resident Evil Village. Maybe later on I'll get in. I'm still kind of getting through 7. I really want to play Ratchet and Clank. So out of these, I think 1, 2, 3, I will be definitely checking out. Out of the ones that I've played, I've only played Metroid Dread. And I freaking love Metroid Dread. We talked about it a lot on the SideQuest, talked about it in the Discord. It's, for me, it hits all the right buttons of nostalgia and then sort of new things. So I totally enjoy that game. But I got to try these other ones before I can make my vote. Again, this is on Game Pass for me, so that works out good. I got this. And by the way, Black Friday is next week. There's going to be a hell of a ton of deals floating around. So you'll be able to pick up a lot of these games. Maybe not this one. But Ratchet and Clank's going to be on sale. Resident Evil Village is on sale. Deathloop's on sale. The box copies and digital storefronts. So definitely keep an eye on those. So yeah, that's a lot of news. A lot of news this week. A lot of Activision news. Won't get into that because I'd rather have the talk to the team, have the team chat about it next time. But yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Oh, I will mention one more thing. The Xbox Cloud Gaming. So remember, you can already do it through your phones, and then they started moving it towards like some PCs and Macs. Now it's completely open everywhere. So you can play through consoles. So you can find. I actually fired up the Xbox One, the OG Xbox One, and cloud streamed Forza Horizon 4 and a bunch of other games because of Game Pass, and it was pretty good. I got to say, the Xbox One, the OG Xbox One, is definitely feeling it. That console did not hold up as well. Visuals still look great on the games that are there. Like I mentioned, Halo and Forza 5, Horizon 5, I'm playing on that. But boy, it chunks. Meanwhile, like my PlayStation 4 still launch console, that one's still zipping. So yeah, until I get it, I did purchase an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X. I always make a mistake. And it arrived today. So I'm trying to decide if I want to. This is my second one because I purchased another one and I returned it. And so this is the second one. This is the Halo one. You gotta order two because you never sure which one's going to show up, right? And then whatever shows up, you keep. The other one you take it back or you sell it to a friend. So I got the Halo one. So I'm tempted. I'm going to save my money. So we'll see. because I can play everything through cloud, which is awesome. So I don't necessarily need an Xbox Series X anymore. Last bit of news actually tied to that. I'm going to I'll share gamesindustry.biz, which is an awesome site full of news about the game industry. One of the market analyst companies out there, Ampere, says the Xbox Series S is outselling the Series X in key markets. Well, that's kind of obvious because I've only ever seen the S sitting out there in on shelves. People buy that up right away, and you tend to see that a lot on like Best Buy's website and other. I think people just want the next Xbox experience, and you can't get all the components for the X, some of the higher end components, and so the S is likely easier to manufacture because it's not 4K, and so it's outselling it. In the US, I think they may even mention in the US it's outselling it. So it's definitely something that I think it's very notable because it just goes to show that people just want to get games again. They want to get new hardware, and they're almost the point where they're not. The S and the X are, I think it even says they're selling 50-50 in terms of install base. They just want to get into the next gen. And it's not the S isn't even like super serious next gen. It's just next gen enough. But one thing I did find notable was that the Xbox has sold 6.7 million consoles worldwide, which is, you compare that to Sony, which has double, 12.8 million for the year. I mean, Nintendo had like 22 or 24, something crazy over that last year. So that dwarfs both of them because they already had supply out there. But the pandemic is hitting these pretty hard, and the Xbox is really far behind. These are as hot as of a seller as it is. I think that the Wii U only sold like 13 million total over the span of like 3 years, because remember the Wii U only lasted like 3 years out there, and the Xbox is looking at that same. It's not the same trajectory because it's definitely selling hotter than the Wii U, but not by much over a year, which is really kind of weird to say. But again, it's because everybody's going to Game Pass, and Game Pass is awesome, and Game Pass is platform agnostic. And I think what these numbers are showing is that obviously Microsoft is going to pump out their the Xbox Roku stick, right? The app on all the different devices. I think you're going to see an Xbox Apple TV app. I think you're going to see an Xbox Roku app. I think you're going to see, maybe not Roku app because they're, maybe certain Roku devices. Something that has Bluetooth. You're going to see the Xbox app on TVs, and you're going to see an Xbox stick. I'm surprised it's not available yet, but I think with the supply constraint to develop this other stuff, you're going to get the Xbox cloud streaming stick that people can buy and plug into their televisions or whatever monitors they want to use and play Xbox games that way on their big screen. And I think that's going to be the hot seller. I think that's going to be Xbox in 2 to 3 years. I don't think you're going to be seeing as an S or an X be sold. Look at the Roku. Roku started off as sort of these bigger boxes, and they've shrunk over the years. And now, the Fire Stick and the Roku sticks they're just tiny. You just plug them in, and that's all people want. And those are hot sellers. I think it's going to be the Xbox in the same way. I think we're seeing that slowly start to happen, and it may accelerate soon. So it's Xbox. It's awesome. Game Pass is clearly their direction. This thing shows that they're platform agnostic. It doesn't matter if you have a super high powered Series X or Series S, which is Xbox One X levels, I guess, slightly better than Xbox One X. Neither of these really compare to the PlayStation 5, and it doesn't matter because they're making all their money on Game Pass. By the way, get Game Pass on at least the cloud onto Switch, get it onto PlayStation, and just call it a day there, Xbox. I think that's where you're missing out on potentially billions of dollars. Okay. end of the news there. Let's just get into what I've been playing since nobody else is around. I'm gonna start with this little guy here. I'm gonna do a further video deep dive. Look at this dude. This is the Nintendo Game and Watch. There you go. The Game and Watch. I'll get into more details. And it's they're a little bit hard to find right now because they're obviously, they're hot sellers. Everybody pre-ordered them, blah, blah, blah. I do think just like the Mario version, which was out last year, was a little bit difficult to find at first, but then now you can walk into Best Buy and Walmart, and they do have the Mario Game and Watch still sitting on. Remember, they're supposed to be limited, but guess what? The Mario Game and Watch are still there, and the Mario 3-pack of Mario 64 and Sunshine and Mario Galaxy are still there. This one may not be, because this is pretty freaking phenomenal. I've bought all the retro consoles from Nintendo. I got the PlayStation. I got the Sega. I've got to get the TurboGrafx one. That was on my list. But this is, Jonesy, what's up, brother? This is freaking, look how quick it turned on. Okay, so it's off. See, look at that, it's off. You turn it on, bam, Zelda 2. You got, it's paused because I was playing it earlier, but it's still not, you hit the game button, you select which game you want. We're going to select, what is this? Link's Awakening. I select that sucker and it's start. No, I did something wrong. Whatever, I hit the time button. But anyways, pretty cool. It's badass. There's no volume thing, is there? I don't know. Maybe there isn't. But it's USB-C. There's the one little speaker on the side, USB-C. But you want something cool already? So I showed you the front. The coolest thing is the back, the logo. You can kind of see it a little bit. It's glowing. You see that? The Triforce is glowing. That is so freaking cool. So when I'm playing this at work, when I get back to the office eventually, and I'm in the toilet playing the game, it'll glow. Oh, it's pretty cool. It's just super nice faint glow through the plastic that I think is pretty badass. I really hope that and then, by the way, it looks great. It's like a lower quality LCD screen that in certain tilts it'll change. I think when you tilt it down, you can really see it, but for the most part, it looks great. It's a clock too. I'll get into more of the details later. I want to see Nintendo put one of these out each year. You had Mario last year, Zelda this year. I think you could do Metroid next year and have Metroid 1, 2, and Super Metroid built into this thing. I think that would be pretty cool. A Donkey Kong one would be awesome if you had a couple of Donkey Kong games on there, even like the Donkey Kong Country games. Could be really cool. Yeah, one of these a year would be a hot seller for like $50, which is the going rate. I think you could do really well. Mario Kart would be awesome. Just put an L and an R on top, and then get the buttons here, and you got Mario Kart games. So, although I think they'll probably stick to the NES 8-bit era, but we'll see. Okay, what else have I been playing? I mentioned Halo Infinite. It's a blast. I've also been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, as they say, Shin Megami Tensei 5 for the Switch. It is it's really good, man. Real talk here. I set the difficulty. You can kind of select the difficulty from like super hard to normal to casual. I went to casual because I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game before. So I know Corey is going to be ripping me. But whatever, Corey, screw you. Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei. I'm really liking it. It's a cool like JRPG. It's got a lot of depth in going out and kind of recruiting your teammates and all that kind of stuff. I do like that aspect of it. I'm only a few hours in because I'm juggling between that and Halo, but it's great. It's going to be one of those games where typical Nintendo buyers don't really get into it. But I'm glad they did put the casual, they labeled it as casual difficulty in there, because I think that at least will appeal to a few more folks. But yeah, definitely if you get a chance, if you're into any JRPGs, I think it's really good. It's really worthwhile. Really cool kind of attack stuff too. And then Forza Horizon 5 I've been playing, which is still awesome. I think that might be it's between that and Dread as my game of the year. Forza Horizon 5 is just so good. I'm a car nut. I get to play as some of my favorite cars on there, and so I was doing some races yesterday. I think I was on another podcast earlier, the Lonely TARDIS podcast. If you like Doctor Who, talking to my companions on that show, my co-hosts, about how their drivatars were always trying to run me off the road. And it's a blast. It's just cool to see, like, our boy Dan Hevia. It's cool to see his drivatars zip past me and then me come up next to him and drive him off the road as well. I got him into a cliff the other night, which was pretty funny. But yeah, Xbox is, they may not have a ton of exclusives this year, but they've got like 2 really good ones in like brand new ones in Forza and Halo. And also, don't forget, you got Microsoft Flight Simulator came out for consoles too, so that's something that you could definitely take on. It's good stuff from Microsoft. Yeah, I think those are the two or three main things that I've been playing. I've been dabbling with Age of Calamity. I think that DLC. I'm a sucker in that. Again, if I pick up DLC, I have to play through it. I don't like stretch it out normally. In Age of Calamity, the Hyrule Warriors Switch game, which came out I think last year this time, it's the Musu Warrior style Zelda game, which is pretty cool. It's great visuals and crazy stories all over the place, time travel and all that kind of stuff. And I was gonna clear through it completely. I might just kind of take out the actual main DLC story part, but then there's tons of it because of the nature of those games. It's just wave after wave of enemies, and you're going back over the same level over and over again. So it's not like you're actually learning anything new or doing new things. There's just slightly modified versions of quests and stories. So you're really kind of buying the DLC for cutscenes, which you can probably find on YouTube. So I've been dabbling in that. That's just gonna be one of those things that I chip away at now and again while I'm waiting for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wilds Part 2 to show up. So, and I think that's it. It's all I can talk about. I got some review stuff coming up. I think the staff has review things here. There. Oh, check out Playland. One of our faithful friends in the Discord said he was available to do a review. We had him review Rainbow Billy, and Rainbow Billy looks really cool. Definitely check out Rainbow Billy because it seems like a simple idea for a game, but it's definitely built on like emotion and human interaction and social situations. And it's really throws you for a loop because you see the game and it looks like sort of a classic, style 32-bit or whatever style game, platformer, but then it really changes it up. And so I'm intrigued. I'm definitely going to be diving into that a little bit too. So, and that's it. That's what I've been playing. That's SideQuesting, the podcast for this week. That's the SideQuests. I'm sure we'll have everybody back next week, maybe, if they're lucky. If not, I don't know. My daughter's been playing a lot of games lately, so maybe she'll step in as a co-host for a little while here. You never know. She likes Cookie Run. You guys ever play Cookie Run Kingdom? I guess it's like a super popular meme-filled mobile game. Somebody try that? I don't know. Also, by the way, I will mention the Final Fantasy Battle Royale game is available now too, so I might dive into that. We'll talk about that next week. But that's it. Thank you for hopping in. Hope you had a good evening so far, or whenever you're listening or watching this. It's always a lot of fun to chat with y'all. You can find us all over the place. Like I said, SideQuesting TV on Twitch and YouTube, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting on Twitter, yada, yada, yada. We're all over the place. Spotify, whatever. Leave us messages. Hop on into our Discord. You can find it at the bottom of the post, wherever this post is, because the Discord is fun. We have great conversations in there, and it's good people. And we're always supporting each other and sharing tips for stuff. And that's what the gaming community is all about. With that said, hey, thanks for listening. Y'all are awesome. I'm going to go watch some TV and play some games and chat with people and maybe write an article or two tonight. It's going to be a busy night, but a relaxing night. With that said, we'll see you on the next night, the next episode of The Side Quest.